welcome to episode 28 of the OVW Fans Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Ochs.
Has it really been 28 episodes?
Feels like a million, but 28, here we are.
Yeah, for real. And I am Brian Hines. How are you guys doing tonight?
Been doing this for 7 months.
Really?
Months.
We've been at this since 1913, since Al Snow was 28 years old.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel at this point.
Thanks for joining us tonight, guys.
We appreciate it.
Tiny Brian is joining us as always. He's the voice of the chat. Please tag him at OVW Podcast with all of your wrestling-related questions, concerns, comments, complaints, requests, anything like that.
And he will have those later, but if you want to jump to the front of the line, the super chat is the key to get him to interrupt us, whatever we're talking about.
Anything.
To put your question out there to us. The rest of the time, he'll just be interrupting us for the sake of interrupting us.
I do enjoy interrupting them, but I won't do it for your thing unless you pay for it. So, but get him in there. So happy to have you back. Guys, what a week for OVW.
Yeah, big time pay-per-view over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Big one coming up, too.
Yeah. And we have wrestling on Saturday right here in Paris, Kentucky.
Well, we're in Lexington.
And well, yeah.
But over in Paris,
Kentucky.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit. But it's a big week for the OV Dubs.
Yeah, Bourbon Brawl, though. Bourbon Brawl.
Bourbon Brawl.
We got to say that as many times as possible today.
That's right.
Bourbon Brawl.
Bourbon Brawl.
Just say it until it doesn't even sound like words anymore.
Well, why not just go ahead and jump into a tour update here, since we're on the subject of this Saturday night.
We may as well. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Every Thursday at OVW, you can catch Rise at Hot Point Davis Arena. You can get in around 6:15.
So my understanding is doors at 6:00. First match at 6:05. No,
6:05,
doors at
really?
Doors at 6:05. First match at 6:15. Pre-show at 6:30. Rise proper at 7.
So
Okay.
we're getting
I believe I have that correct.
We're getting real actual dark matches now that you can only see if you're in attendance at OVW, right?
Mm-hmm. That is my understanding.
Well,
That's good to know, guys. So you got to be there early. That's what we're saying. When you go to Rise, you got to be there early.
Yeah, get there early. Get there as early as you can. Set up. Go meet some of the great fans of OVW. Go say hello to some of your other friends that are in the crowd, and get to know some of your future favorites in those dark matches.
that's right.
Because eventually,
We first saw the cowboy guy, who someday we'll actually know his name.
Cowpoke.
Cowpoke, that's right.
Oh, he calls himself a cowpoke.
That was the name.
Yeah,
Cowpoke Klein, there's a proper noun in there somewhere.
we're just gonna call
Chat,
him.
help us out.
We're just gonna call him the Cowpoke. Probably in perpetuity.
Can I just go boom, 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 boom?
You can, but we'd rather you not.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Sure. So on to the rest of the tour dates. In case you hadn't heard already, or if you're living under a rock, the OVW Bourbon Brawl at Bourbon County High School in Paris, Kentucky is this Saturday, November 9th, 119. If you're a Twin Peaks fan, that's a bit of a significant thing. That is Paris, Kentucky. OVW Seasons Beatings. There's a new one. Country Boy Brewing, Georgetown, Kentucky, December 13th. Looking forward to that one.
That's gonna be fun. Always a fun time at Country Boy in Georgetown.
Oh, yeah. And the
And even better when there's wrestling going on.
The holiday pay-per-view last year was wonderful.
So is this just a house show, or is this a pay-per-view event from Georgetown?
I believe it's just a house show, because that's Friday. As we know, most of the time they do they call them Saturday night specials for a reason.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure there is a Saturday night special that night. I think I saw it announced during
the
the
next
pay-per-view.
night?
Yeah.
That would be the 14th
Yeah, I think so.
So there's a Friday the 13th in November?
in
That's
December?
December.
Yeah,
There is.
there is.
Son of a nutcracker. All right.
I'm gonna have to.
I'm apparently musical tonight. My apologies.
I'm gonna go get. I want to see what kind of tattoo specials are going on. That'd be a fun day. Go get a tattoo.
Yeah?
You never heard of the tattoo shops that do the Friday the 13th specials?
No.
Yeah, they'll do like a flash sale, and they have several pre-designed things that you can customize.
So I know
slightly.
that there are some tattoo studios that do that, but I didn't realize Friday the 13th held some kind of significance in the ink community.
Maybe I'll go get a tattoo and go to Country Boy.
My very first tattoo I got in December.
Do you think they'd have a loaded baked potato glove that you could get pretty quick? You think there's some?
If I ever get the loaded baked potato glove tattoo, I know who's gonna do it. It's gonna be really, really nice. and I know where I'm going to get it. Like I have this planned. I have the whole thing planned. If Jay De Niro, for those of you that don't know, I've promised if Jay De Niro ever becomes the national heavyweight champion.
Oh, is it just national, or does when he wins any belt? Come on, dude.
You know what? When he wins,
you can make it the heavyweight or the national.
The heavyweight or the national. I'll extend it to the heavyweight or the national. If Jay De Niro ever wins the heavyweight or the national.
Let's be optimists here. When Jay De Niro wins.
Well, I'm just saying, this is the way it would be in a legal contract. If and then. If Jay De Niro ever becomes a national heavyweight champion or a heavyweight OVW champion, I will get a loaded baked potato glove tattooed on my body.
Which I have real reason to root. I don't know about you, Brian, but you and I kind of invented the loaded baked potato glove.
And I have hated it. I have hated it since the first time that you said it.
I know, and that's part of why we've continued to say it low these many months.
But yet you plan on wearing it in perpetuity if Jay De Niro were to win the heavyweight or the national title.
I'm a man of my word.
Okay.
We love it. We can't wait for it.
You should see my other tattoos, guys. They're just as stupid. That would actually be...
It's funny because it's true, because if you haven't...
They're just as bad.
Yeah.
A loaded baked potato glove would be the third item of food that I have tattooed on my body. So...
Okay, I don't know you all that well, and I don't know that I want to, but good for you. We're going to represent all major food groups.
I have the ice cream cone here. I have a banana here.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess I did. I did. So you're going for the 4 major food groups. That's candy, candy canes, candy corn.
It's too early for that.
And syrup.
No, actually, I'm going to let you do Christmas starting 30 seconds ago. It's now Christmas time for you.
I appreciate it.
I'm honestly surprised I didn't come back to the studio this afternoon and find the Halloween stuff gone and the Christmas tree up, honestly.
I can only do so much in a day.
That is true.
And you have to do one thing at a time.
I just expect you to have magical powers. That's all. Special holiday magic powers.
Okay, 2 things. First of all, who says I doesn't?
That's true.
Second of all, maybe they're not for decorating. Maybe I can magically do other things. Did you ever think about that?
No. I'll try. Look, I'm just kind of making this up as I go along.
Would that be the best Class D mutant power? Is like,
make your Christmas tree?
Yeah, like being really good at decorating for Christmas. Is Martha Stewart a Class D mutant? You think?
So
that's a different podcast.
It's turning into a Marvel podcast.
Tour updates.
Rounding out the tour updates, OVW Winter Warfare in New Kensington, Pennsylvania on January 25th, 2025. You can get tickets to all of these events and all future OVW events at OVWTix.com.
And I do want to say here, as we're moving forward, one last thing about the Bourbon Brawl. If you are looking for something to do on Saturday night, it's happening at the Bourbon County High School in Paris, Kentucky. Paris is a beautiful little town. We'll be running around there, and we want to pack the house to support the Bourbon County High School marching band.
Absolutely right.
And that is, of course, the benefit of Bourbon Brawl is the Bourbon County High School marching band. So, OVWTIX.com. You said it best, baby. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll be getting into all of our predictions for this upcoming week. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow, a week's already passed. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Rise. We'll be
tomorrow
getting into
tomorrow.
We'll be getting into all of our predictions and all kinds of fun stuff right after this.
Paris, a beautiful city for the finer things in life. A city full of art, culture, and fashion. Hemingway said there are only 2 places in the world where we can live happy, at home and in Paris, Kentucky.
I'm Debbie. I'm in the OVW Fans Zone.
A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow. The wrestling brand.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. the unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
This is Wes Barton, and we're in the OVW Fan Zone. Please join.
Welcome back to the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Ochs.
Hey, kids. I'm Brian Hines.
Before we jump into predictions, Tiny Brian, I see you rip-roaring ready to go over there on the microphone. I do want to echo our friend Matthew's sentiment from the chat, and we are keeping Chris's mother in our thoughts.
Yes.
Friend of the show, Chris Runyon, his mother has a medical issue. It has understandably devastated our friend Chris. Final Count Podcast. Let's keep them all kind of in our prayers.
Yeah. Just want to make sure. Hard to pivot off of that, but I did not want to forget it. I saw it while we were on break and wanted to make sure that we echoed that sentiment here.
Yeah, we really should have brought that's been going on for about a week now. I think we heard about it last week during Rise. So
Yes.
our thoughts and prayers continue to be with Chris, and
Keep your chin up, buddy. We love you.
And we want you to come back and see us again here on the Fan Zone again real soon.
Anytime. When life doesn't get in the way, you tell us.
Yep.
Tiny Brian.
Let's get into that favorite segment, predictions. I gotta say it for 5. It's gonna last 5 seconds.
Malachi, we might need to cut that to 3 seconds.
Or 1. How about that?
I'm gonna try to get AJ McKay to actually say predictions, and it'll be much better.
It'll sound official, which would
We are official for the next.
It would track for the Wednesday show because that's the only night that we're allowed to be official. The rest of the time, we're unofficial.
Out on our podcast feed, the OVW Podcast, wherever you find your podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. For some reason, we were unofficial, and we got the call, and whenever OVW calls, you pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And we hope to not get a second phone call from OVW one day that says this whole thing is over with.
Quit. Please stop. No, we are official for 46 more minutes, so let's take full advantage of it.
Let's do
with
it.
Doing
We may
some
as well.
predictions. So we do have a few things to know about tomorrow. I've got 4 matches and a couple other things to talk about. First match involves the heavyweight champion, Mount Kadeem, who will be taking on the veteran, Jack Vaughan.
Okay.
And we know Mount Kadeem, I guess you'd say he put in an impressive performance against Cashflow over the weekend. I mean, he certainly beat Cashflow, but he didn't certainly take on Cashflow in his best.
No, that's to say the very least.
Yes. So we know Kadeem is strong and is not intimidated by veterans, if Cashflow is any indication. What do you got? What say you?
I think I want to go Jack Vaughan because he is the veteran. Mount Kadeem, for me, impressive guy, right? Very, very, very impressive specimen. But has shown that he lacks a certain killer instinct in the ring sometimes. Jack Vaughan will be able to capitalize on that very, very easily.
And then tap his temple.
Right.
Like, see, I told you. Brian, do you agree with that assessment, or do you think Kadeem's got the size advantage is going to rule the night?
Well, he does have the size advantage, that's for sure. But that's only going to get you so far with a guy like Jack Vaughan.
That's true.
And Jack Vaughan's not small.
No, he isn't. He's what officially is he? He's like 6'10", right?
I mean, he's a big boy.
I mean, if there were somebody,
that's your altitude. You have to tell me beyond a certain height. It's all the same to me. After a
yeah,
certain height.
I don't know. I mean, I know that my son is now he'll be 16 at the end of December, and he's 6'8", and I saw them together, and I can't remember who was taller, but 6'8" to 6'10", somewhere in there.
Pretty sure your boy's taller.
Is he?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because I remember being
does-
heartily impressed.
He does have about 2 inches of hair going on up there, and
That
which
is
Jack
true.
Vaughn does
Well,
not. So.
yeah, there's
Could
that
have been the pompadour
as well.
So what do you think, Brian?
Jack Vaughn didn't get to be the veteran by being stupid. Jack Vaughn's very smart. He's wrestled big guys before.
Sure.
And I'm sure that he has a strategy in place. So I kind of think that offsets the size. And I'm going to go with the veteran.
Okay, look at that unanimity among the hosts. You'll love
Spell
to see
that.
it.
Can you?
No, I can't.
Unanimity.
I can't spell you most days.
Okay.
Right, not the word, just the letter. Spelling is not my forte. Let's move on.
That's
to
not
our-
even a word.
Nope, it is not. Sometimes wording is not my forte.
All right.
Let's move on to bout 2, featuring the OVW Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. The Netflixes. No, I'm sorry. The Red Boxes. No, wait. No, I'm sorry. Even older. The Blockbusters. Versus
The Hollywood Video.
yes, the Hollywood. That's the other franchise I was trying to think of.
Bought a lot of movies from Hollywood Video back in the day.
Yeah.
when
I
that was
only
a
went
thing.
to one Hollywood Video. It was actually in Louisville, and I rented the original Bad News Bears, which at that time was 35 years old, and my uncle was like, "Really? Of all the movies, you want to watch Bad News Bears?"
God, who was the old man in Bad News?
Walter Matthau.
Walter
Walter
Matthau.
Matthau, of course.
Drunken Walter Matthau.
The redheaded kid. What's his name?
Danny Bonaducci?
No, he wasn't in there.
I don't know.
I'll think of his name later.
Well, so yeah, the Blockbusters are taking on Dysfunction. Anybody betting on Dysfunction? I mean,
I mean, I would like to see Dysfunction win. I would love to see Dysfunction win because I really dig them as a tag team. I
they've
like
got a great gimmick.
I like their gimmick. I like the way they work together in the ring.
I did. You know what? You've actually talked me over on Dysfunction several times. I kind of thought they were goofy, but
Yeah.
everything you're saying is true.
It is. And I love those guys. The Blockbusters, we don't really know as much about them because we haven't seen them. It's probably been, like 6 weeks?
I
so?
mean,
Something like that?
gosh, if even. I mean, I feel like I barely know them at all.
Yeah.
And I feel
Well,
like
we've
that's,
never seen them before Homecoming.
I feel like that's a sentiment that, I mean, I know Wendy and Ren echoed on our show, the OVW Podcast, wherever you find your podcast.
Unofficial.
That one's now on
And
YouTube.
I can't help but think that, Wendy and Ren, they have their pulse down. Or they have their finger on the pulse of the fan base. I can't help but think there's a lot of people that probably feel that way about the Blockbusters. I do think they're going to end up, I'll speak for both of us, they'll take the victory over Dysfunction.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you want to challenge that, Brian? I don't think
I would love to be wrong. I would 1,000% love to be wrong because I would love to see Dysfunction walk out with the belts.
How
but
fun would that be?
that would be fantastic.
we really would join them. This would become the Dysfunction podcast.
Dysfunction Junction.
Yeah.
And there's in the locker room too, there's the OVW versus Revolution, but we are seeing that there's even kind of packs and gangs inside of that, and I think that our friends in Dysfunction would be the way that they could fit in as champions in the OVW locker room where they don't really have a lot of allies. I think it could be really funny. I think it could be really fun. I think that those guys are a really great tag team, and I think that they don't take themselves too seriously, which is why I like seeing more and more of them.
Yeah.
The Blockbusters, however, I think might take themselves a little too seriously.
Okay. And that motion. Somehow the
I was going to do that, and
It's
then I
never-
realized that I've got audio equipment in front of me, and it's not worth it. See, that thing that he does. They're charades enthusiasts.
they really are, and it just
First
makes me-
word sounds like it's the title of a book.
The chat room likes Dysfunction Junction, Brian. Good job.
That's right.
Let's move
Hey,
on.
I'll say this: Wednesday nights, Dysfunction. Here's how much we like Dysfunction. Dysfunction Junction. We'll give you 5 minutes every Wednesday on this show if you guys come down here.
Yeah, come on down.
Well, unfortunately, they're not quite as local as some of the other folks.
Well, send us video packages.
Yeah, please.
Do
Look,
something.
If EC3 can do video packages from in the crawl space under his house, and they get on OVW Thursday night, Dysfunction can send us videos.
Or the drive-through, getting food at lunch, wherever. I mean, you can do it however you want. There are no rules apparently.
No, and this is I am being dead serious here, guys. Dysfunction, if you're listening,
send us a video.
Send us videos. We will air within reason whatever you send us.
Yes. Let's move on before we talk ourselves into trouble. Our third match of the evening that we are going to discuss involves the Rush Division. Almost called it what some other people call this title. The Rush Division champion, Star Rider, or as some people call him now, Heel Rider. I've heard that more than once.
And he's loving life as a heel over there.
Yeah, he really is. Well, he came and I had to get new scenery because he chewed up all our scenery just last week. So
that's true. Yeah. And Star open invitation. I owe you a better one.
Yeah. Taking on Brandon Beretta.
Oh yeah.
So I think we've seen that guy twice.
He's that big serious boy that lost to the cowpoke, right?
Oh yeah, he's the guy who came out without music the first time.
Oh yeah, is he all? What's his name? All Business.
Yeah, All Business. Brandon Beretta. Is that it?
Lord Business. Brandon Beretta.
Yeah, he does not. It doesn't give us his honorific here in the graphic, but
nothing.
I do believe you're right that he's All Business.
And who is he? Who is he wrestling again?
He's wrestling the Rush Division champion, Star Rider. Heel Rider.
So I think that Star Rider in his current form is going to make this guy look pretty good. I think that this guy's he's a big bulky guy, powerful. Star Rider is great with those guys in the ring, but Star Rider is going to end up taking the victory. I just don't think it's Brandon Beretta's time.
I agree.
And the
I do think
the chat room is with you guys on that as well.
I do think Brandon Beretta is going to walk away tomorrow night, though, as having won some hearts of the fans. I do think Star Rider is going to make him make an impression.
I could see that being well within the realm of possibility. Nothing to detract from Brandon Beretta. I mean, we've seen him a couple times. He's, like we said, no nonsense.
Yeah.
Big, strong, stout guy.
Stays real low to the ground. Real believable.
Yeah. I just think that, Star Rider isn't the champion for no reason, and it's not his first go around as far as that goes. He and Rushy have been reunited and separated several times, and I don't think that tomorrow night is going to be one of the nights where Star Rider walks out 10 pounds lighter.
No.
Don't think so.
I don't think it would be. I don't think it's for the belt anyway, but I don't think he's going to. I agree with y'all. If I was making a prediction, I would join you in it.
Now, listen, if it was this cowpoke.
That's a whole other
We don't
story.
know his
That's
name.
a whole other story. Yeah,
we don't know his name, but we do love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him and Dysfunction.
Yeehaw.
It's him and Dysfunction. Oh, man.
What?
They should tag.
What?
Dysfunction and the cowpoke should tag. He should join Dysfunction but not change his gimmick.
They should all become cowboys.
Yes, Dysfunction should become cowboys.
Dysfunctional cowboys. There you go.
Spooky cowboys.
Yeah, spooky cowboys.
And this is why we have nothing to do with actually.
That's why we're only official for 1 hour, 1 day a week.
That idea is just about as good as the Amish electrician costume idea that we had last week. So, it's as good as any of the other ones.
All right. So we have one more actual match to talk about here.
Okay.
And that is local hero Dustin Jackson, which is weirdly, I think, how he should start billing himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he should.
Versus the Hunter himself and member of the Revolution, AJZ.
Dustin has put on a string of really incredible performances recently, really incredible matches recently.
That's true.
I mean, he got the win over Donovan at the pay-per-view just this last Saturday.
Snuck one out on Donovan.
Snuck it out on a small package. You got to love that.
him and AJZ is a hard decision to make, though. Here,
Yeah.
is it really just the word "hard" that makes you laugh?
No. I was. You said that Dustin Jackson snuck the win in with a small package, and I wrote my own joke that we'll save for the unofficial show. How about that?
Fair.
I'll go ahead and make some notes for Sunday now.
Fair.
Check that out on Monday on our podcast feed to find out exactly what kind of joke Brian's going to make.
I think you can maybe put it together, but man, we talk a lot of this on this show and our other show, the OVW Podcast, wherever you find your podcast, about head versus heart decisions. And this is, for me, a head versus heart decision. This is a hard one. AJ's just looking at it like tail of the tape style. I think Dustin's got him beat on athleticism. I think AJZ's got him beat on bulk.
And just sheer ferocity.
Right.
Because AJZ bites.
Having said all of that, I'm going to let you go first.
I mean, I tried to talk to him to book him for an interview in the parking lot, and he bit me. AJZ bites.
yeah.
Then we had to
Okay,
take,
that's true.
Then we had to take you to the ER.
I had to get a tetanus shot. Look, it was a night.
And rabies.
Yeah.
It's tough
So,
out there.
What do you think, Brian?
I mean, AJZ's no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Dustin Jackson probably has him in terms of like cardio and conditioning,
Sure.
but that's not to take anything away from AJZ. I mean, he's a recent tag team champion. Dustin Jackson is a former champion.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with AJZ only because I don't feel like it's going to be a true one-on-one match between AJZ and Dustin Jackson. I can see Dalton McKenzie coming in there to help, or anybody else from the Revolution.
Yeah, that's the thing. AJZ does come with a whole package of accessories.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He's the multi-man pack.
So-
if this was toys.
Jackman, remind me who your pick was.
I have not given one yet. My
Okay.
pick is Dustin Jackson, head and heart this time.
Okay, look at that. All right. So, pretty good matches that we know about. Hopefully there'll be some
Absolutely.
women's matches in there. As was noted by JJ in the chat room, we only had one women's match for all of Reckoning, the women's, and we did not see J-Rod, the women's champion, at the pay-per-view, so hopefully.
Yeah, what the French toast?
I'm telling you, that is one of my favorite fake swears
Yeah.
of all time.
That's an unswear, and I'm not going to get into that because it's a slippery slope when you're on live TV. And since we're still in an official capacity,
Sure.
we will save that for the Sunday show when we are unofficial again.
No kidding. All right.
Yeah, I think that AJZ and Dustin should be like our one main event too. By the way, I think that should be slotted in main event. It's not an official prediction, but I think it should be slotted in a main event thing. I think Dustin deserves it.
No kidding.
That'd be really nice.
So let's get into some other things we know are happening on Thursday. First, we know that we're going to get into the fallout from Cal Hero and Tony Gunn's parking lot to the ring to the concession stand.
To the windows, to the
wall.
wall.
To the sweat drops down Tony's everything, really.
PG-13.
Yeah, we're sticking with it.
That's right.
How do we feel like we're going to see another match out of this? Anything we want to comment on? This was a wallop, a slobber knocker of a fight, to steal Jim Ross's line.
I think we are going to see another match, and I think this time there will be a lot more focus on it.
We'll get. Well, I guess it technically no. Was it the main event or was it the?
It was.
So, yeah, I look forward. We'll find some way to get some. Do we think we're anywhere near finality on this program?
I doubt it.
I think that given the circumstances of the pay-per-view, we bought ourselves a few more weeks on it.
That is true. So yeah, we'll see if we get a match. We'll see if we get something out of that. We see if we get Cal doing another one of those slightly disturbing promos that like the one he did the other night.
I liked it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I found it slightly disturbing. There's a difference.
Doug Basham has an announcement too.
Yep,
Did
that's
I see
our
that
final
correctly?
thing. Yep, that's our final thing. Let's get into it right now. Doug is showing you his fist. It does not say hush, but he does have a big announcement for us on Thursday. Nightmare Cup.
Oh, yeah, could very well be. I was thinking 15% off at Men's Warehouse in the leather section, but, I'm probably wrong. It's probably more like 5.
I'm going to say that it's probably something that has to do with the future of the National Heavyweight Championship.
That's, yeah.
Muy interesante.
It seems like that's Doug's white whale right now, right? That's Doug's Moby Dick.
Yeah.
That's the thing he
White
wants.
whale, black leather.
That's the thing he wants in the Revolution. And it's the one thing that since the Revolution has come to power that it has not gained. It might have lost some belts here and there, but it's at least held every belt since it's been in power, except for that one. I think that's a thorn in Doug and the rest of the Revolution side, and we'll hear a little bit more about Doug's plans for the National Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, well, okay, for the sake of argument, if this announcement is about the future of that title, as you said, what do you think the nature of this announcement would be? Are you saying that you think it would be he's going to announce a specific match?
I think he's just going to give it to Jay De Niro so that I have to get this tattoo. No, I think he will. I think he will. I don't know what the next step is from a 4-way, like in terms of like escalation of stipulations, right? I don't know what the next logical step above a 4-way is.
Can they rent an elimination chamber? Is there some store that sells those?
Yeah, it's Elimination Chamber Depot.
Okay.
There's one down the
Chambers
street.
are us.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that would seem to be the next step up is you're going to need a big prop.
That would be pretty cool. Maybe they'll get that 100-foot ladder that they had at the pay-per-view a while back. The one that reached all the way to the ceiling?
Oh, yeah, that was a giant ladder. I don't know. I don't think it'll be anything like that ridiculous yet. But I do think that it will be some sort of stipulation, a multi-man match, something about the heavyweight championship.
Do we think EC3 is A, in attendance, B, does he perform, if he is?
If you're going to ask me critically, I think EC3, the character, should be in attendance and needs to perform. Do I know if EC3, the wrestler, will be there? I have no clue. I would assume he would be advertised if he was.
That is true. We would probably have a poster to talk about him if he was. Although he's been there for several weeks and we didn't really get a poster.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I just think that in the midst of this babyface turn for EC3, everyone in Davis Arena loves it when you show up and you show off.
Yeah.
And for him to continue with the babyface momentum he has post pay-per-view, he needs to show up and show off.
Amen. Yeah.
And not just give us a video from his rec room.
No flip phone videos. None of that.
Put your Motorola Razr back in your gear bag and put on your boots.
Yeah.
If you want to impress the fan base. That's just...
There is one thing that works in Davis Arena, and it's just doing it. It's just doing it.
Lacing up your boots and going hard.
Lacing up your boots and going hard. Yep.
I thought you were going to say the Wi-Fi, because no, not so much. I have a hard time sometimes.
And
That's why I don't post a lot of pictures
all
during
the
the show.
hardworking staff of Davis Arena work too. That's
Yes, they do.
But in terms of crowd reception, like I said, no better way to put it: show up and show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween Hell Night, there were folks who I know were placed mighty high in OVW production who were literally just running a camera ringside. So
that's true.
They are hardworking folks behind the scenes at OVW, and we do really appreciate them.
Yeah.
And
right.
that's not just so that we can keep this show.
No. As much as we enjoy this show, we like you guys for your own sake.
Yeah, they're all a great crew, and that Eric Cornish guy, he's a really good guy.
Pretty good guy.
Yeah.
We will be back here shortly with all of your questions and comments from the chat.
So get them ready.
I've been taking down some, but I need more. So
Yeah, that
get
means
them in
you,
the chat
Brian.
right
Chop,
now.
chop.
Here's a couple minutes for you guys to jump in the chat, give us all of your burning questions, and we will address them as soon as we get back. This is the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Have you seen how cool this shirt is?
I see that.
You know, we have a whole TeePublic shop that sells these.
I did not know that, no.
We do, yes. And we have links in all of our social media about it. You can get this, or you can get the Unofficial.
You can get this, or you can get that.
That is absolutely true.
I honestly don't know
Hey, my
what
name's
just
Mark
happened.
with OVW Fanzone.
A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow. The wrestling brand.
I'm Sarah and I'm with the OVW Fanzone.
I'm Christian and I'm with the OVW Fanzone.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Hey, it's me, Cal Hero. I am at the OVW Fanzone. Come on, come hang out.
Welcome back. Final segment here on this Wednesday's edition of the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Ochs.
B. Hines, pleased to see you again.
And I'm the man behind the mic, Tiny Brian.
Tiny Brian, as always, on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on OVW TV on YouTube. He is in the chat. He is talking to you guys. He is compiling all of the things that you guys have been talking about over the last 40 minutes. Tiny Brian, what do we got?
All right, so we do have some things to start talking about. There's still time for you to get in.
Absolutely.
So give us your questions or comments right there in the
Now is the
YouTube
best
chat.
time. Now is the best time.
So let's start from the bottom of the things I've been talking about here. OVW Fanzone Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hey.
He says, my only problem with EC3 is he's never there but at pay-per-views or right before a pay-per-view, which we are talking. I'd love to see him break that pattern now.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't have as much NWA stuff to do anymore. He doesn't have that 8 pounds of gold, so 10 pounds of gold. Well, inflation.
So wouldn't that be 12?
But the value went down, so they had to take some of the gold out.
There's not some kind of exchange rate. It's not currency.
What do you think an NWA title belt's worth at a pawn shop? $45? 50?
I'm sure it's.
They turn around and sell it. You know, they don't know what it is. You know, they're like, well, I'm only gonna be able to get about $60 out of this.
I don't know. They'll probably think that it's hot.
Yeah, they'll definitely think it's stolen.
Yeah. Do you think that our good buddy with the pumpkin smashing is really going to want you to sell his belt? No.
Probably not.
No. So Rob asks on the subject of that that national heavyweight title, why not a battle royal?
That'd
we
be
talked
fantastic.
about the stipulation match that we want to see next. But again, we got to get it off EC3 before we can give it to anybody else.
Well, here's the thing, though. EC3 and a battle royal comes out on top. What is that? Showing up and showing off.
That's true.
Yeah.
Rob also mentions that Doug looks like he needs to poop bad.
Almost all the
Which
time.
just amuses me.
Almost all the time.
And leather
It's
stains.
tough. It's tough to get in and out of those leather pants, is what it is.
He needs to invest in some of that yogurt that Jamie Lee Curtis was endorsing.
Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I know the name brand, but I'm not going to say it.
I can't remember, so that's why I just said it like that. But yeah, get some fiber, man, for real.
It's important.
It is.
It's important.
Cosmic
I'm
Joe
learning that more
Chronicles.
every day myself.
Yeah. Cosmic Joe Chronicles asks, who taught Carson Drake that lame version of the string dance? I like Carson's string dance. I think it's hilarious.
Of all the great string dancers of all time, whose name begins with a C, Carson Drake's definitely number 2.
Yes, that is correct.
Who was number 1?
Conan O'Brien.
Obviously.
Of course, yes. He kind of, that.
He is the string dancer.
He is, in fact, he's a string dancer.
No.
Okay, fine.
That's 3, dude.
Yeah.
How many strikes do you need?
At least 8. Ren observed during our conversation about AJZ versus
Dustin Jackson.
That she says DJ is going to swing Timu Tarzan back to the jungle.
Yeah.
And
listen, guys, don't make Wendy and Ren mad because they'll get to you.
Yes,
they will cut you.
And now the chat room.
You should just go on our podcast, the OVW Podcast, wherever you find your podcast, and hear what they had to say about Jay De Niro.
I mean,
yeah. I wasn't going to make any mention about anything like that.
Now the chat room is suggesting things to clear Doug Basham's problem, including Activa and Metamucil, and
just a good balanced diet. Just start there, you know.
Yeah. And howdy Donna Cecil, who has joined the chat room.
Mama Mammoth.
no more poo talk.
No.
Mama Mammoth.
Straighten up, everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Straighten up and fly right, kids.
Let's see. What else do we got here? Let's see. Wrestling's biggest fan, I think, asks, who is your breakout star of OVW so far in 2024?
Let me give you a handful.
Okay.
Dustin Jackson on his return.
Sure.
Donovan Cecil, not only as a tag team artist, but now in this singles run. That's really only started since the end of August.
With a new level of intensity in Donovan's eyes.
And it's not just because Miss Mammoth is here.
No.
That is, everybody knows that is a good faith take. Donovan Cecil is an incredible athlete, incredibly fun to watch. I think it's been fun to watch J-Rod in the short time that we've seen her. That would probably be as far as like breakout stars, maybe kind of people that are less consistent or we haven't seen as much of. Those are kind of my handful.
I mean, I don't disagree with any of those.
I
but
mean,
now
you've been saying you're the Mammoth literally all year. So
well, yeah, I have, and it still is.
And it's proven true. It's been one of the great predictions of the year, honestly.
Yeah. That guy kind of clearly has a knack, a gift, an ability to achieve things on a pretty big level. And he's a really smart cat, and he seems kind of like a sponge. And so when he's around all these great minds and all these other great wrestlers, it's no surprise that he's honed his craft and has come out as big as he has this year in the year of the Mammoth.
I'll go with that as being probably my main standout this year would be Donovan Cecil. And for all the other reasons that we've already talked about, but the one that we haven't talked about is, I mean, I could be wrong, but as far as I can tell, he trains harder than everybody else. I don't see anybody else in the OVW locker room posting videos of them in the gym, like deadlifting like a bajillion pounds the day they have like a championship match.
Other wrestlers will joke about Donovan's
we've
workouts.
literally had them come on this program
Yeah.
and joke he lifts 800 pounds and then he comes to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like it's a widely acknowledged thing. I think I hesitate to use words like train harder, but like the dude has this crazy work ethic.
Yeah.
And it shows. Not
only that, but he's phenomenally strong. I got I ran into Mama Mammoth, and she had one of the bags, one of the backpacks that Donovan sells. So I got one of those on Thursday, and he hooked me up with an 8x10. Actually, he hooked me up with two 8x10s.
Oh, yeah, this is
that
the one.
sweet 8x10.
Yeah, I should have brought that in, but I didn't think about it. I'll bring it in next time, or maybe I'll take a picture and post it in the fan zone. But the
put it on the fan zone.
The 8x10 I'm referring to, if you don't know, it's a black and white, and he's literally lifting a car. Like a car has been like kind of cut so you can like put a yoke on it, and you can like stand up. He's literally carrying a car. So, I mean, I don't know a whole lot of other folks that could do that, but
and he sells those, right? He sells those at his
yes,
So
yeah, he does. And
it's a great picture.
And the backpack that I got, and some other shirts and nifty posters and stuff. But one of the people that I used to work with years ago, after I worked with Dalton McKenzie, who is also in Kentucky competing in strongman competitions.
Oh, small world.
Yeah, and he wasn't into that when I worked with him. This was like right before the pandemic. So within the last 4 years.
So he got locked inside and just lifted heavy things.
I guess. I mean, but we were probably pretty comparable as far as like, body type, build, stuff like that. And he doesn't post on social media much, but I saw where he posted earlier this week, and oh my God. I mean, he's doing stuff that would rival what Donovan Cecil does when he trains. And I even said something to that effect. I commented on his post, and I said, I would love to see a strongman competition with the stones and carrying things and all that, like they do on ESPN.
And that's what Donovan
between those two. And he's like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I've competed with him.
Well, did he have any insight on Donovan from a competition perspective?
I didn't follow up and circle back around with him and do a follow-up comment or anything, but I will now.
Yeah,
now that we've talked about
maybe
this.
that
I should
would
catch up
be
with him anyway. He was a good dude.
Some good stuff to have just in our vault, in our depth of
Yeah,
knowledge about
yeah.
Donovan.
Yeah.
We do. You guys would be surprised. We do journalisty type things every once in a while around here.
We have sources and we have things off the record that we don't actually tell you guys. It's crazy.
You guys want to hear one right now?
No, let's not. Chat room on the subject of biggest pop in 24. The chat room has suggested one Super Duper Z.
Well, he was at the top of my list before we got into any of that. But outside of Donovan Cecil, yeah, Super Z is probably the biggest pop. I mean, how can you not like Super Z?
Everybody loves Super Z.
Yeah, he's out there saving babies and dogs and kittens and whatever, like all the time.
And it took no time for people to become very involved emotionally with Super Z.
Yes, immediately.
For him to become a sentimental favorite, it took almost no time at all.
Yeah.
There is a question about the status of Crixus, who, of course, we don't really, unless you guys have talked to him recently. I haven't personally spoken with him recently. Brian, I know you kind of have a more personal relationship with him.
I haven't, but I know that he's lost a couple of beloved pets.
Oh man!
Here recently,
on top of the injury, goodness.
On top of the injury, yeah, he lost one dog. I believe that dog's name was Odin. A couple of weeks ago.
That checks out.
And the other one, our bourbon ambassador Chad just told me about on the way in, and I cannot remember. But Bowser was the name of the other one. So that's sad.
So keep him in your thoughts and prayers or whatever you're into.
Yeah, I only had like one dog that, outside of my childhood dog. As an adult, I've had one dog. He was with me for 13 years, and when I had to put him down, it absolutely broke my heart. So losing not one but two in the course of a couple weeks, on top of having an injury that's going to put you on the shelf for a while, I'm sorry, man.
Hang in there, Crix.
Yeah.
And wrestling's biggest fan, it was announced that Buzz was going to be taking some time off.
Yes.
Just before they announced it, just before the Pikeville show. So we know he's off. We'll hopefully see him soon. And
I hope so.
I think, guys, there's rumbling we might see a certain certified person
Shut up.
sometime. Not super soon.
Nuh-uh.
But he's off in the distance and sort of headed this way.
Are you sure?
No, but
Okay.
I can hope.
We'll talk about that on our regular show.
That is more of a trafficking and rumors situation. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll save that for the unofficial
Yeah.
show.
So I think
We officially don't know anything, so we won't talk about it.
That is true. All right. What else do we have here? Michael says he wants a reversed shirt just like those. I guess he's talking about our shirts. You guys know we sell shirts. We have a TeePublic store now. Just thought I'd bring that. Just let's just egregiously throw that in. It's the Blacklight Moon store because we are produced by Blacklight Moon Productions. So find those links and go. It's pinned to our profile page on our social medias. So go have a look at that.
it's interesting. It's so interesting that if Buzz was still around, all three of us would have said breakout star of the year was Buzz Backlund.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just forgot him. How quickly we forget when he goes away.
Well, and that's wrestling doesn't wait, unfortunately.
No, there is no off season.
Yeah. As far as like the impact, somebody coming into OVW and hitting the ground running right off the bat, I can't think of anybody bigger in our year and change of covering the OVW than Buzz Backlund.
Well, and I think the same situation, the same scenario with Buzz Backlund could be applied to Shane Mercer as well.
Well, yeah, that is very
Is
true.
that he was our favorite shiny toy for such a long time, and we haven't seen him in a couple months, and we've found other shiny toys. Wrestling is a really strange place like that.
Wherever he is, I hope he's wearing a kilt and marching with that piping band even to this day.
You mean Mr. Buzz?
Yes.
Mr. Backlund.
Yeah.
Great kid. What you see is what you got with him. Great kid.
And I'm not just saying that because he hit me with the chicken wing.
He really did. That was
right.
I thought he was going to break the set, honestly.
Yeah,
and this set is pretty fragile anyway.
Maybe we'll dig that one up and throw that on the show next week. That was a good one.
Yeah, maybe we'll put that in our break.
Wait! It's already in the opening credits.
You can't see it enough times.
Really?
All right, maybe not.
One of these fingers is for you. You pick which one.
There's the one in the middle.
Yeah, I'm sure. I got that.
Spoiler alert, yes.
Anything else from the chat, Tiny Brian?
No, I think we're about to we're getting close to the end here. Do want to say I think next week here in this space we will be having a special about the OVW Academy.
Oh, that's right. Let's tease
yeah.
that
So
out.
let's
looking
go ahead
forward to
and-
that.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some folks from the Academy, some students, some people from the staff. So we are really looking forward to
That's
to
going to be
that.
kind of the theme of next week's show. Is going to be kind of Academy focused. We're going to kind of learn all about the Academy. We'll still be doing all the dumb, stupid stuff, fun stuff too. You'll still see us.
Oh, there's no doubt about
You'll
that.
still see us make a fool out of
Plenty of dumb
ourselves.
stuff.
But we are going to have guests, and we're very much looking forward to that. Rebecca, Cornbread, I think some other people, they'll be down.
still working out exactly who. but
Mystery
yes.
guests to be named later.
But we will welcome them as warmly as we know how.
Wait. So we're going to have more than 2 guests?
I don't know yet. Possibly.
We're gonna
have to go to the store.
Well, we're gonna have to bring in the chairs, the couch. I may have to find
that
some more
too.
stuff. Yeah. I may have to get another mic, or just me not have a mic. Wouldn't that just be sad if I just didn't have a mic? For a
Oh,
show?
God,
couldn't
that'd be
imagine.
a crying shame.
couldn't
My
imagine.
tiny violin. I'm playing it right here for you.
Tiny.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Why you got that microphone, Tiny Brian?
Let's go to the calendar, shall we? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, 6:05 p.m., Hot Point, legendary Hot Point Davis Arena. Join us and the OVW Fan Nation there for OVW Rise and OVW Overdrive. Both shows will tape tomorrow night right there. It will be a night of hot action, but not hot temperatures because they fixed the air conditioner. So join us. Monday morning.
Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night. I'm sorry. Saturday night, Paris, Kentucky. Bourbon Brawl.
If you're
7
looking for
p.m.
something to do, there it is.
Okay.
Paris is a great place.
OVWTix.com.
Time out.
Okay.
So we do these predictions every week, and if we get them wrong to a certain point, there are
Things
going to
might
be-
happen.
Right.
Things are going to happen.
But you completely leave out the one event coming this weekend that we're sponsoring?
Look, you guys can throw a pie at me anytime you want.
Oh, you just wait. It'll be more than that.
Clip that, Malachi.
Yep.
Monday morning, we will cover everything that happened on Thursday night's Rise on the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. You can check us out there. That will be out on Monday morning. Tuesday, right here on this very feed, you can find OVW Overdrive, the show that always kicks out at 2, featuring our some of our favorite people, Brian Kennison and Steven Johnson, bringing you all the action from the early show there at Davis Arena. And then next Wednesday, we are right back here for OVW Fanzone Live, where fans talk back. Join us then. Guys, we are so glad to have you.
Always.
And we are so thankful. Once again, my name is Tiny Brian.
My name is Jackman Ochs.